This is certainly not the way I wanted to start my day and start the news. And I had a lot of high hope that they were going to find that little boy, Dane Paulsen, in the Sillet's area. Well, as you guys can see here, as of as late as 5 hours ago, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger on the screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at. I'm going to be reading from KGW.com, so thank you for the article. 2-year-old Dane Paulsen was the little boy that was missing. They have found his body as of 5 hours ago. So thank you, whoever that was that called that out in the chat that asked about him. That was Gemini Moon. So I do want to give Gemini Moon a shout out. So let me read real quick here. This is as of 5 hours ago. Missing 2-year-old Dane Paulsen has been found dead in the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office. They confirmed that on Tuesday afternoon, which is, of course, that's today, depending on when you're watching this. The toddler went missing from his home in Sillet's on March the 1st, quickly sparking an intense search effort that drew in hundreds of volunteers and continued for the past 10 days. As you guys know, we talked about that. We posted that video. Really just to try to get as many eyes on this story as possible. Even if it's just a few thousand, at least we did. The sheriff's office confirmed that Dane's body has been found in the Sillet's River at around 11:13 a.m. So that's actually even earlier, that maybe they didn't report it yet. And they found his body about 3 miles downstream from the family's home. Investigators with the sheriff's office are currently processing the scene, according to a news release at 2:07 p.m., and are working with the county medical examiner's office. Again, depending on when you're watching this, today is March the 11th. So they found his body at around 11 a.m. and reported him officially that they found his body around between 2 and 3 p.m. Now, the body was found by an independent diver, Juan Heredia of the Angels Recovery Dive Team. And I believe those are people who volunteer their services, if I'm not mistaken. We've heard of that before. Shout out to them. Hopefully you guys get a chance to watch this video, so shout out to them. But they volunteered their services and began searching areas downstream from where the sheriff's office divers had been operating, according to the news release. Dane was last seen around 4:30 p.m. on March the 1st, playing in his yard of the family's house, which is about 100 feet from the river. Let me say that again. Y'all understand how short 100 feet is? 100 feet from the river. This is a 2-year-old baby. And I want you guys to remember that the first person who came out and said this, and I noticed people followed suit a few days after, I was one of the first people that said, I want to hear the parents do an interview. Why do I want to hear the parents do an interview? I'm not being callous. Let me turn the mic down. I'm not trying to be callous towards the parents, but I just think in situations like this, as a parent, as a father, my kids are both about to be 18 here this year. And I think about all this time that I've raised my kids, especially little bitty kids. You don't take your eyes off of 2-year-olds, not 1-year-olds, not 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, all the way up to 10 years old. I don't take my eyes off my kid, even as a teenager, right? If you're in my care, you're with me, I got eyes on you and I know what you're at. And you guys, and I would love to have my daughter here with me right now, but she's in school. So school season, she's with her mom, right? But you could ask her and she will tell you when she's with me, I'm always asking, hey, and I'll call her by her name. Yeah, I just want to make sure you're good. Even when she's not in sight, inside of my house, I'm making sure and checking on my baby. Do you guys kind of understand where I'm coming from? I'm not blaming the parents necessarily for doing something to him. What I'm saying is there's a very real possibility that as a 2-year-old, he got exploratory, walked off, got in the water, and had an accident. That is why you watch 2-year-old babies. So yes, I'm going to indict the parents by saying you should have kept your eyes on your kids. Therefore, you should be charged. You should be interviewed. You should have came out and said something. But if you notice, When parents really, 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 really care, they come out and say something. They're on the front lines and telling the news outlets, doing interviews and saying, please help us find our kid. I didn't see that. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed that press release. Maybe they suppressed it. Maybe YouTube took it down and said that it wasn't suitable for advertisers. I don't know. Right? But I just think that's quite a bit strange. Even the FBI joined the investigation and search efforts on the third day, along with hundreds of volunteers from across the Pacific Northwest. Authorities kept the search effort focused on the river, deploying underwater search methods and using boats to cover approximately 14 miles of the river. That's a long distance. Now, since early March, the sheriff's office said that there is no evidence of criminal activity in Dane's disappearance. The criminal activity would be the neglect. That's where I think the charges should be. Now, authorities initially identified the late 1990 station wagon that was seen in the area as a vehicle of interest, but then they determined that it was irrelevant to the investigation, and now I think we've come to find out that's what the case is. So you guys can see this on my screen. Beautiful, handsome young man, and I wish his parents cared about him. I'll say that again. I'm not trying to be inflammatory, but I'm trying to be informatory, if that's even a word, towards the parents and all parents. Not speaking just to them. I'm speaking much further than just these parents. Guys, we have got to do better by our kids. This is flat out pitiful parenting, neglect, and I don't know how you even excuse the fact that you don't know how a 2-year-old got out of your sight. I don't know how you excuse that. To this baby, I wish he had more alert, more aware, more loving parents to keep an eye on him at all times. To Dane Paulsen, young prince, R.I.P. If we are going to do any updates on this story, we'll make sure and let you guys know, and then we'll kind of go from there, okay? Thank you.